summer, and this time we're in Havana with just 48 hours to discover the Cuban way of life as you've never seen it before.
We're invited inside the homes of old Havana. We meet the socialist artist transforming his community and the dancers inspired by Cuba's ballerinas. And as usual, 48 gets under the city's skin, and this time in the face of its local enforcers.
We're starting in Old Havana, which is the tourist mecca, but we're about to see the capital as visitors rarely see it. Hola! Are you ready? Good, how are you?
I'm a little tired, but...
You can't be tired, we've got a big morning.
27-year-old Pepe is a full-time nurse and a part-time rickshaw driver who, like most Cubans, still lives with his family.
This is
my baby.
This is your baby, orange seats and all. So what do you make as a nurse a month?
Maybe $14, $15.
$14 or $15. But as a rickshaw driver, what can you make?
It's the same salary in 1 month in my hospital.
One day of this is the same salary as a whole month.
For this tour, we were leaving the baby behind.
Ready to see Havana.
2 million visitors come here every year, including sometimes the odd camera crew. Our plan was to see old Havana on somebody else's rickshaw, but that was a bad idea, according to the police.
It's not possible with the basic.
They said our drivers didn't hold tourist visas like Pepe. But even on foot, we were stopped again and again.
Working for you or
We're friends. So they're everywhere, the police.
It's like a spy, everywhere.
We thought maybe it was because we were in tourist areas.
Gorgeous.
This is the Havana Park.
Here, the architecture built by the Spanish colonialists has been restored by the government and declared a World Heritage Site. But it's not all like this.
Here, finish the new. I begin the old Havana.
Half of old Havana's homes are in disrepair.
So do the people worry about the state of the houses, that they're going to crumble, yeah?
It's a problem here. It's too old, the building. Too many accidents here, too many dies.
The government is slowly restoring them and providing temporary homes.
They live here because the building is fall down before.
So when does he expect to go back to his house?
De nuevo, ¿cuánto que esperan ustedes que reparen la casa?
But other tenants have refused the transit offer, preferring to live on building sites to hurry the job along.
So how does this work? The government has given the materials.
And the workers come here to help to reconstruct the buildings.
And they help the people who live here?
Yes, stay here.
How?
No. It's not fall down, it's not so bad, you know.
Not so bad?
No, I don't think so.
Pepe wanted to show me how his best friend lives in an average apartment in Old Havana.
Hola!
Here I live with my son and my cousin.
How many rooms does this have?
2.
So upstairs and downstairs?
Yes, yeah. Very small. It's my home.
Do you have electricity here? Lights?
No.
No electricity?
No.
Never?
Water's also unpredictable here, but the government says no one starves because of the rations.
Rice, beans, oil.
Are the rations enough?
No.
But don't think they're all down on socialism. Most Cubans blame the US trade embargo, not their President Castro, for the tough times. But with censored TV and no real internet access, they've also had to find entertainment that's free.
How do we do this? What's happening?
I really wish I hadn't asked that question. It was time to leave Old Havana and my newfound friends.
Can you talk?
Yeah, I speak Spanish.
Departing was proving difficult, but we'd hired some serious wheels to play with. Not these ones. And inside, a new translator and guide.
After 1959, all the houses and all the private property was nationalized. So if the original owners had left the country, the person in charge of the house during this period, like the maid or the gardener, became the owners of the house afterwards.
Before the revolution, Havana was a wealthy city, and America's movie stars, mafia, and even presidents were made to feel at home.
Well, this is the Capitol building that was built in 1929. At that time, the American influence was very strong.
African slavery lasted 300 years here before it was abolished in 1886. Under it, blacks were forced to give up their African religion, Yoruba, to practice Catholicism. But many didn't. They just mixed the two. And today the religion known as Santeria is openly worshipped.
In Catholicism, saints are supposed to be perfect, and in the Santeria, they are more human, so it's different.
President Castro once declared this country atheist, but a papal visit 10 years ago has seen a rebirth of religion.
These traditions were not being practiced for a long time, so now many children do not know much about it. Maybe it's one of the first times that they meet, but they are going to remember this day forever.
We were about to visit an artist who was not only transforming his community, but was dividing it with envy. Beatrice complained he'd not even started her row of houses.
She's gonna tell him to do it as well in his house so that people can see how beautiful it is.
And this is all Beatrice wants, a home with her name on it.
Is she the Princess Diana?
¿Tú eres la princesa Diana?
The artist. Amanda.
Amanda.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay,
for having us.
Gracias.
Wonderful. We've been looking at all over the street.
My neighbor no money.
So you pay for everything?
Yeah.
To do it up?
Every day walking.
Yeah.
But please, come in. This is.
Thank you. We will.
This is the rooster.
Fuster funds his community work with sales of his art abroad. He's influenced by Gaudi and Picasso and inspired by Cuban life. He says at 14 he discovered art and joined the socialist cause to educate poor farmers.
Right. It was part of the project.
Yeah, part of the project to make people more literate in Cuba after the revolution.
Exactly.
So this is the mountain. Exactly. And some of these people...
Different person. My imagination is the favorite table.
This is your favourite table?
Yeah, because many parties. Everyday parties. Julie!
And here, his homage to Shakespeare's lovers.
So you're romantic.
Yeah, I love you.
Already?
It's only from the top of Fuster's house that you can see his vision to change his world.
This is just the beginning of a project that is going to last for 20 more years.
Wow. What did the community say to you when you said, I want to do your houses?
No, la gente me lo pidieron.
People asked him to do it.
Me recuerdo que una vecina me dijo que yo era un hombre egoísta porque yo lo había hecho en mi casa y no en su casa.
One of the neighbors told him once that he was selfish because he'd done it on his house and not in the rest of the people.
But Fuster says there's another important deadline to meet. He was finishing his home in time for his 60th birthday party, which we didn't have to miss completely. We spent the afternoon honouring one of Fuster's favourite artists, the King. No, this wasn't another birthday party. This was much bigger than that. For less than 5 cents each, fans can see their president's and country's favourite sport, baseball, played by some of the world's best, and Simon's not among them. But I did learn, despite this stadium's painting, that Castro and I have something in common. Both of us were star pitchers in our younger years. Not that anyone would believe me.
You are good to pitch. I don't think that. Because you are not strong.
I was very strong.
Playing tonight, Havana's favourites, the Industriales, with 2 Olympians on the team.
Did you go to the Olympics?
Yeah, Olympic game.
Yeah.
2000.
Major overseas games often mean Cuba winning, but losing their star players to defection. Dozens have been lured by major league million-dollar contracts, while their former teammates make $20 a month.
No jugamos por dinero.
We don't play by money. We play for our country, our people.
It's funny to be in a stadium and not see any advertisements on the side.
Instead, only socialist slogans like these, that sport is the right of the people.
It must always be interesting when the United States plays against Cuba.
Everybody who knows the baseball
Yes.
say the play United States and Cuba is the best.
Sometimes politics does get in the way of that happening. This year, US policy almost stopped Cuba from playing in the World Classics. Japan won that time, but we know who these guys are rooting for next.
Cuba's prima ballerina, Alicia Alonso, put the country's ballet stars on the world stage. For almost 50 years, she recruited her dancers from slums, schools and orphanages, believing that anyone should have the opportunity to dance. Well, that's a philosophy that's been adopted by many here.
In Cuba, they say the moment you can walk, you learn to dance.
No me vayas a engañar.
He knows he doesn't have the body of a typical dancer, but this is what Juan believes he's destined to do.
Yo te gusto y quizás es bien para los dos. No me vayas a decir.
Weighing 240 pounds, Juan is the teacher and founding member of Danza Voluminosa, his dance troupe for the voluptuous.
Soy tu refugio de amor.
Es seria porque se hace con personas.
It's different because it is he's working with different people that are not looking like the regular dancers, but inside them they really want to dance.
Juan started up these classes 10 years ago with the aim of improving people's self-esteem. He doesn't look for trained dancers who've become large, but rather large people who can dance, but never dared to show it.
Even with my weight, I am now doing things I never imagined possible.
It's not about your body, it's about something inside you, something you want to express through dancing.
Juan's group are long inspired by Cuba's national obsession with dance, which President Castro supported since his revolution declared that culture would replace capitalism. Ever since, Cuba's produced some of the world's greatest technical dancers and inspired these amateurs to rehearse almost every day for their public performances.
So don't you lose weight dancing 20 hours a week?
Mi cuerpo ya está acostumbrado a esa carga de trabajo.
Of course, he loses weight, but he eats a lot.
Cómo sufría por ella, que hasta en su muerte la fue llamando. Ay, 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 ay. Cantaba. Ay, 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 ay. A saber de amor.
Leaving the suburbs, we pass through what's known as the heart of Havana, and it literally is the city's geographic centre and its highest point.
Well, this is a revolution square.
President Castro has made his customary speeches here ever since he toppled Cuba's dictator president in 1959.
1 million people can be gathered here.
And where did Fidel stand?
Well, it's right there by the monument with the rest of the leaders, the main members of the government.
Fidel was famous for his 6-hour speeches until sickness forced him to temporarily hand power to his brother Raúl. Celebrations for Fidel's 80th birthday had to be postponed and were moved to the 50th anniversary of the start of the Cuban Revolution. But with rumours that he's gravely ill, the world is seriously talking about the future of communism and a Cuba without Fidel. We found some vocal members of Cuba's next generation. They were posing for the album they're hoping one day to record.
Presta atención a mi composición, que vengo echando suficiente pila, como la lengua de Godzilla, para enseñarte esta cosa nueva que hechas están. Esto es Cuba, underground, Trimenchoy, Padima.
Swearing in English and rapping in Spanish, the music of Treatment Choice wasn't to everyone's taste. But the pizzas being sold across the road by the guitarist's mum clearly were. From her lounge room window, Carlos's mum and staff were doing a roaring trade in the kitchen as the band rehearsed as loudly as possible and rather impressively without microphones and decent amplifiers.
Your mother lets you practice here? Don't you scare away the customers?
No.
When people think of Cuba, they think of salsa, they think of hip-hop maybe now,
Rumba.
more recently they think of rumba, exactly.
Rumba.
What's the music of Cuba today?
¿Cuál es la música de hoy?
For young people.
Reggaeton. Reggaeton. Pero dile que a nosotros nos gusta el reggaeton.
They don't like the reggaeton. We like the rock. We like hard music, but we want to fusion with another music to the people can hear more easy.
They call their music hip rock, which combines hip hop and rock rebellion.
So who is your idol in
Many people. Cypress Hill, Slipknot, Korn.
They're big American bands, aren't they?
Yeah.
How do you hear American music?
Well, we buy discs, the friends, VCD. We all help each other.
Will I hear of you internationally one day? Hmm?
Well, we hope so.
Wembley? Canini
Ojalá. 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 We want to play around the world.
Good luck.
We left the hip rockers for a night of salsa, and the omens were looking good. Outside William's house, we waited for 18-year-old Lily.
One momento. No 5, 1.
And Lily was proving she was a typical teenager, keeping us all waiting before making her grand entrance. Pepe had organised a bunch of friends for our last night in Havana.
We had a big day, but we had no police today.
But I'd spoken too soon. We were back in the tourist area, and now the main attraction. Once again, we were told it was to protect us foreigners.
It's harassment. Harassment, no?
But our friends didn't want us to make a fuss on their behalves. This too, they said, reflected the Cuban way of life. Our getaway car finally arrived and we went cruising alongside Havana's waterfront towards a nightclub hidden from tourists on the city's old fort. But the bouncer said he couldn't let us in because Cuba's press center didn't know we were there. But thankfully, Pepe had a backup plan.
Lead the way, Pepe!
The Cuban moves were easily putting us to shame when we weren't doing that to ourselves.
Brilliant. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you can laugh.
And to my rescue came Pepe.
You have to count 1, 2, 3 all the time. Follow my hands, okay?
And Lily was performing her own miracles. First on Simon, then something truly amazing. She helped Brad unleash his groove. And we discovered a new sound man.
But that is the end of our 48 hours. I've got to say it's one of the most interesting, it's certainly one of the most challenging, but we've made lots of new friends, those who are in and out of uniform. I've got to say, Havana has been brilliant, but most of all, the people. Thank you so much.
Nah, you're welcome.
See you next time. Thank you.